Welcome. Today we will explore Ivan Pavlov's discoveries in classical conditioning, his concept of reflexes, his influence on psychology, the main criticisms of his work, and his lasting legacy. Let's get started. Pavlov was born in Russia in 1849. His father was a priest and he started his studies at the theological school. However, he soon enrolled at the University of St. Petersburg to study chemistry and physiology, where he showed talent in surgery and research. In 1890, he became professor in physiology and even helped start the Russian Physiology Society. Pavlov was not a psychologist. He focused on body's physical processes, particularly digestion, but his research eventually had a huge impact on psychology. While studying digestion in dogs, Pavlov noticed something unusual. The dogs would start to salivate not just when they saw food, but even when they saw the people who usually brought them food. This observation led him to wonder if the dogs were learning to connect certain sights or sounds with food. To test this, Pavlov set up an experiment. He attached salivation meters to the dogs, then rang a bell just before feeding them. After repeating this many times, the dogs began to salivate at the sound of the bell alone, even when no food followed. Pavlov's experiment revealed that animals can learn to associate a new signal, like a sound, with a natural response, such as salivating. This process is what Pavlov called classical conditioning. Pavlov's main idea was about reflexes, automatic reactions to certain events. Reflexology, as he called it, focused on understanding behavior as a series of these reactions. He saw two types of reflexes in his studies. Unconditioned reflexes. These are natural automatic responses. For example, a dog naturally salivates when it sees food. No learning is needed. It's a built-in reaction. On the other hand, we have conditioned reflexes. These are learned responses. In Pavlov's experiment, the bell sound was originally neutral. It had no effect on the dog's salivation. But after pairing the bell with food repeatedly, the dog learned to salivate at the sound alone. The bell became a conditioned stimulus that created a conditioned response, salivation. As already mentioned, Pavlov's work had a huge impact on psychology, especially on the development of behaviorism. Behaviorism is a field that studies only observable behaviors, ignoring thoughts or feelings. Pavlov's work inspired behaviorists like John B. Watson, who applied these ideas to humans. Pavlov's findings suggested that behaviors could be learned, controlled, and measured, which fit perfectly with behaviorism's focus on observable actions rather than mental states. Despite its importance, Pavlov's work was criticized for being too simple. Critics argued that many behaviors, especially in humans, are not just justified by automatic reflexes. Emotions, thoughts, and complex mental processes also shape behavior, which Pavlov didn't fully address. Later branches of psychology, like cognitive psychology, look beyond conditioning to understand the mind in a deeper way. Pavlov's discoveries are still useful today. The principles of classical conditioning are used in therapy to help people overcome fears, in education to shape positive learning habits, and even in advertising to create associations with products. His ideas are also central in training animals by creating new associations with certain sounds or signals. Overall, Pavlov's work is a cornerstone in psychology, physiology, and even everyday practices. In summary, Ivan Pavlov's research opened up new ways of understanding and shaping behavior. His simple experiment with dogs not only influenced psychology, but continues to have an impact on many areas of life today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.